Hey, Nathan Ganane here. Just going to continue on from last video. The last video I was talking about buying deals, whether flips or rentals, with having little or no money for funding. So today I'm going to talk about another option, land contracts or seller financing. I've done a bunch of deals where I buy it via land contract, which is seller financing. What that means is I buy a property and my offer to buy it is contingent on them basically holding back a note. So for instance, if I buy a property, so right now I'm under contract, should be closing next month, a 4 unit. It's $100,000 purchase price. My offer is with seller financing. The guy has no loan on it, so I'm buying the property for $100,000 with a down payment of $5,000. So he's carrying back $95,000 loan at 7% interest for a 10-year term. On this particular deal, it'll cash flow about $10,000 a year on a $5,000 down payment. That's after payments, expenses, maintenance, vacancy, and other expenses as well. But just to get into the land contract, so you can use this as a way if you're just starting out and you have no track record. It's hard. Say you can't get any private funding, private investors. Just target sellers who are going to be open to doing a land contract. Not everyone is, but there are plenty of benefits for a seller to do a land contract. So if you can find the people who have properties that it's in their best interest to maybe do a land contract, the deal's actually really easy. They're not forced or anything. So let's start out with first the benefits of a land contract for a seller, because this is part of the way you can get them to accept the offer. Not everyone understands land contract. Not everyone understands the benefits of them doing that for you, financing a deal. So here they are. A few of the main benefits. One, I'm not a CPA, but they're able to spread out their capital gains liability over the years. And again, not saying that's a fact, but I've seen people do that. So they're able to spread out their capital gain. Instead of me handing that guy $100,000 today and say it's a $50,000 gain, where he'd pay taxes on the $50,000 gain, he's able to spread it out over the 10 years of my payments. So I'm making payments to him in 10 years. He pays taxes on the payments he receives in that year, and his capital gains on the $50,000 is spread over the course of the 10 years. That's one. Two, it allows them to receive an income stream and make interest. So like I said, that property I told you about, it's a 7% interest rate. So for the seller, he doesn't have to do anything to receive it. He just receives his payments. As long as I'm paying him, everything's good, and he's receiving 7% interest on his money, where otherwise if I hand him $100,000, he's not going to earn anything unless he places an investment, and 7% is actually a very good return. So for him, that's awesome. It's basically an investment, and he understands it. It's a property he's very comfortable with. He likes it. He's owned it, and for whatever reason, he just wants to sell it. And to get into some of those reasons that they want to sell, a lot of people, especially the ones willing to do land contracts, have owned for over like 15 years. Their properties are usually paid off, in my experience. There's ways to do other things, but to keep it simple, find people who their properties are paid off. So if they've owned them for over 15 years, a lot of times they're just looking to retire or at least lessen their responsibilities and stress factors, which for a lot of these people, these properties became stress factors. They might not be managing them properly or with all the new technology. So that's another reason they want to sell it. Doesn't mean they want to get out of an investment, just means they want to get out of the responsibility of managing them. So if you buy it via seller financing or a land contract, you essentially take over all responsibilities because you bought the property, and they are basically the bank. So they become the bank with an interest rate, so they're still making money. It's still an investment to them. It's just they're holding a note is all. So a couple things, again, find wholesalers and just tell them you're looking for land contracts, seller finance deals, and if they come across anyone willing, that you're very interested. Another way, market directly for them. Like I said, make lists. There's YouTube videos explaining it, but find people with over 15 years ownership. on properties. If you can narrow it down further, find people who are 60 and over, kind of nearing retirement age. Generally, these people are looking to downsize their responsibilities, like I said. But yeah, just get your name out there, find some land contracts or seller finance deals. This is, like I said, one way to expand a portfolio with little funding, little experience. Even if you have a lot of experience and a lot of funding, it's still a great way to expand your portfolio. You can make some deals work. Actually, you can be very creative with land contract or seller finance. Whatever you agree on with the seller is what they'll do. So if you can't get a deal to work with the cash offer, you can make a land contract very creative and get a deal to work that way. So it's a great tool to have in a real estate investing career, basically. So learn about it, implement it, buy some property.